Hola, ¿cómo están? En este video vamos a hablar de imperfecto y indefinite y negative expressions. ¿Qué significa eso? Primero vamos a ver imperfecto, ¿no? ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, verbo AR, manejaba, manejabas, manejaba, manejábamos, manejabais, manejaban. Comer, comía, comías, comía, comíamos, comíais, comían. So, verbo ir, lo mismo, ¿no? Vivía, vivías, vivía, vivíamos, vivíais, vivía. Okay, so if you see two dots like this, which means you can just do the same thing, okay, same as left. Okay, so okay, if it's AR verb, okay, you just have to get rid of AR y poner aba, abas, aba, abamos, abais, aban. If it's ER verb, IR verb, okay, get rid of the ending ER and IR, put IA, IAS, IA, IAMOS, IAIS, IAM. ¿Vale? Now, again, since this video shouldn't be too long, I don't repeat, but please do it by yourself, okay, using this, maybe using this PowerPoint presentation. Okay, I want you to repeat again, so that you can memorize, ¿vale? Now, compared to preterite, conjugation of imperfect is very simple. Yeah, we have, okay, most of our verbs follow the regular form like this, but we have only three irregular ones, okay, which is iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, ibais, iban. Era, eras, era, éramos, erais, eran. Veía, veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, veían. ¿Vale? So actually, this is a conjugation chart I invented. Yeah. So many of those conjugations, you just remember your form, not all of them, okay? There are so many exceptions. But just remember your form and get rid of the last letter and put the same ending. Again, if you see two dots like this, which means just it's same as left. Okay? Iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, ibais, iban. Era, eras, era, éramos, erais, eran. Veía, veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, veían. Now, since this is what I invented, it's not perfect. Okay, so it's not exactly puts just the same ending. Íbamos, éramos has an accent. No? So there is tiny irregularity like this, but but very very tiny differences. No? Okay, but basically you just remember your form, get rid of the last letter, and put the same ending. But if you prefer this, I also put the complete version like this. If you prefer this way, you can just use this one, ¿vale? Ok, vamos a ver un poquitito de ejemplo. How do you use imperfect? Okay, it's just a past tense. It's one of those past tenses. But you use imperfect. Very basic use of imperfect is something you did habitually, repeatedly. And usually it's not very important to mention exactly when or exactly how long. Por ejemplo, cuando era niño, siempre jugaba a los deportes. When I was a kid, I always played sports. No? Now, if you say something like that, okay, usually you don't mention exactly when. And it's not really important to mention. If you want to say, when I was a kid, I always played baseball, for example. No, you usually don't have to say, I started playing baseball when I was 10. I totally quit when I was 12. I mean, you can say that, but usually you don't have to say it. Okay? So when you use imperfect, something you did habitually, repeatedly, and usually it's not really important to tell how long time. Veía muchos dibujos animados cuando estaba en la casa, dibujaba mucho. Okay, I watched a lot of cartoons. Cuando estaba en la casa, when I was at home, dibujaba mucho. I was drawing a lot. Okay. Casi nunca limpiaba mi cuarto, ni estudiaba ni trabajaba en la casa. I almost never cleaned my room. Okay, I didn't study, okay, neither studied nor worked in the house. So something that happened habitually, repeatedly, or something that didn't happen, okay, habitually, repeatedly. I never studied. I never worked. Okay. So I put a lot of examples, but since this video shouldn't be too long, okay, I don't read everything, but I strongly recommend you to watch. Look at this, all of this PowerPoint presentation, all the pages of this presentation, okay, by yourself. Now, another use of imperfect. Yo bailaba mientras ella cantaba. I was dancing while she was singing. Okay, so two simultaneous action. Usually we use imperfect. Two simultaneous action in the past. Okay? Something like I was dancing while she was singing. Okay, for example, okay, while I was studying, okay, my mom was cooking. Mientras que yo estudiaba, mi madre cocinaba. And when you talk about physical characteristic, usually we use imperfect. Cuando yo era niño, yo era gordo. Pero Jenny era delgado. ¿No? When I was kid, I was big, but Jennifer was thin. This one, there are some exceptions that we are going to cover later. But generally, when you talk about mental emotional state, we use imperfect. ¿No? Cuando yo era más joven, quería mucho a Jennifer Aniston. When I was young, I liked a lot Jennifer Aniston. And time in the past, usually imperfect. Eran las 3:30. It was 3:30. We just don't say fueron. Eran las 3:30 cuando el accidente ocurrió. Now, when you want to say when I was something years old, usually imperfect. Cuando tenía 15 años. Tuve un accidente de motocicleta. When I was 15, okay, I had accident. Okay. Now, this time, I want you to focus more on conjugation. Okay. Yo viajar, viajaba. Vivir, Samuel is the subject, vivía, ¿no? To hablar, how do you conjugate this? Hablabas. Okay, I want you to answer these questions by yourself. Correr, maybe one more. Leonardo y yo, correr, corríamos. ¿Vale? Ok, vamos a ver otra parte de hoy. Indefinite and negative words, no? Something like this. There's a translation here, so I want you to have an idea. This one is opposite to this one. This one is opposite to this one, right? Okay, if you just look at this translation carefully, okay, you have some idea what it means. Okay, vamos a ver. Algo, alguien, alguno, alguna, algún, o, siempre, también, nada, nadie, ninguno, ninguna, ningún, ni, nunca, jamás, tampoco. Now, this one especially, I recommend you to read a lot of sentences to get used to these expressions. ¿Tienes algo en el refrigerador? No, no tengo nada. ¿Hay alguien en el cuarto? No, no hay nadie. Okay. Is there something? No, I have nothing. No? ¿Hay alguien en el cuarto? No, there is nobody. Señor Saucedo, ¿te afeitas todas las mañanas? Nunca me afeito. Never, I never shave. Now here there's a little bit of grammatical information. Like in English, you don't say, I mean, people say it so, but grammatically, you can say, I don't have nothing. No? I learned in Japan when I was learning English. Okay, in English, double negative is no. You don't say I don't have nothing. You say I don't have anything. No? But in case of Spanish, double negative is perfectly fine. No tengo nada, for example. Okay, literally it says I don't have nothing. But in Spanish, it works. No hay nadie. No, there isn't nobody. But okay, if you in English you say there isn't anybody. But in case of Spanish, double negative is not a problem. Okay. And again, this video shouldn't be too long. Okay, so let's do some questions here. Okay, I made it multiple choice. Voy a hacer tarea con alguien, ningún, algo, alguna. Which one do you choose? Let's translate, okay? I'm going to do the homework with alguien, somebody, ningún. Okay, ningún is adjective, so you have to see some kind of noun after. Okay, so this one cannot be answer. Algo, something. Alguna, this is also an adjective, so you have to see some kind of noun after. Okay, so this one cannot be answer. I'm going to do homework with somebody, or I'm going to do homework with something. Okay, which one sounds better? Probably this alguien, no? So alguien is going to be the answer. Okay. No hay en refrigerador. There isn't in the refrigerator. Alguien, nada, nadie, ningún. Okay, again, ningún is an adjective, so you have to see some kind of noun after. Okay, so this can't be answer. There is not somebody in the refrigerator. Is it logical? There is nothing in the refrigerator. This is logical, no? There isn't nobody in the refrigerator. This is not very logical. So nada is the answer. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, hay toalla nueva. Is there any new towel? Nada. Okay. Is there nothing towel? Doesn't make sense. Is there something towel? It doesn't make sense. It's gonna be alguna. Okay. So it's a noun. Is there any towel? It's alguna, not alguno. It's because toalla is feminine, singular, okay? So please just try to do this rest of them by yourself. Okay, it's multiple choice, okay? Okay, it's a little time over, so I have to stop here. But if you have any question, okay, please let me know, okay? So question can be specific. For example, okay, I'm trying to do this number 4, but it just doesn't make sense. Please just say, would you explain how to do it? Okay, you can ask me something like that, okay? So please just send me email if you have any question. Okay, adios.